What's up, everybody? It's the Tabletop Tyrant, and today we're going to talk about the Black Orcs. Black Orcs are really iconic in Warhammer fantasies for orcs and goblins, not only in the lore but on the tabletop. Now, the lore is a little bit convoluted and shrouded in mystery. You have orcs that are able to sit there and maintain their weapons, maintain a martial bearing, think about the bigger picture, and not fight amongst each other. They also don't tolerate it, so they can also quell those around them into being more efficient. Now, one thing that's uncertain is whether or not they were created by the Dawizar or the Chaos Dwarves. There are some things that allude to it, like in the end times, if you take it for how it is. If you can't, we all have to accept that the end times exist. But you have Grimgor, Bogart Facebeater, toppling Tsar Negrund, just bringing it down, which means they might have that little bit of animosity because Black Orcs were enslaved and Grimgor's a Black Orc, right? Who knows? Now, with that, on the tabletop, they are a really cool unit. You see them covered in this full plate. Here's 6th edition, and here's where we are now. All of them are really awesome models. These we call the trash can orcs, I believe. But in 6th edition, they were implemented with the idea that you would pay for the great weapon or additional hand weapon or shield. In 8th edition, they got a sweet rule called Armed to the Teeth, and you were able to pick at the beginning of each round of combat what weapon they used. Again, same weapon options. Now we get Motley Crew. Now, I'm not a big fan of this rule. I typically just choose to pick one weapon throughout the entire unit. But what it allows is for you, we'll take an example, say we have 15 Black Orcs. We give 5 great weapons, 5 additional hand weapons, and then 5 hand weapons shield. And then we put them in the front rank, 5 wide. Now then say you take casualties, say you took 3 casualties. You must pull 1 additional hand weapon, 1 great weapon, 1 hand weapon, and shield. Now, I don't like this rule because it's a really time-consuming thing. There's a people out there like, actually, I'm a professional. Well, there's a lot of people that aren't. There's a lot of new people in this hobby. And I think it's very confusing to the younger generation coming in that they have to keep pulling and mixing and matching. Now, again, this is how my community does it. Some of these guys played events, so I've just taken it like this is how the meta is. If it's not and you guys do something different, let me know down below. But in order for the fairness, they make you pull 1 of each profile to make it fair. And what it's attacking back. So that is a downside, a personal downside, not a tabletop downside for me. I don't like that it takes a lot of time. Now, I want to talk about the profile. Here's the card. As you can see, it's been in the background. My face is going to disappear in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Take your pictures. Enjoy yourself. I make these for my friends because not everyone has a lot of time to read the rules and prepare for a game. I play more laid back. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what they can do. Their weapon skill 4, movement 4, strength and toughness 4, nice, 1 wound, 1 attack, initiative 3, and leadership 8. Now, I have the great weapon profile in here. That's how my friend runs them. But they can take additional hand weapons for an extra attack. They can take a hand weapon and shield to get that 3-up save. They have a full plate armor, which is an increase from last edition, where they have a 4-up armor save rather than heavy armor. That's really awesome, considering the fact that, yes, I have special on there, but if you include a Black Orc as your general, these guys become a core choice, 0 to 1 unit. And that's where they shine, in my opinion, the fact that you're able to chew up a good chunk of your core points on a really good unit. Now, infantry in this edition is a little meh. A lot of people don't like it. I think if you're playing more laid back, you want to have more fun, they work really well. They do a good job. I think that most infantry units, unless you're min-maxing, do really great. And that's just been my perspective on it. There's always a place for how units work. It just depends on your gaming group, your community, and also like what your taste is. Do you play competitively? Do you play for fun? I mean, those are going to be the big factors. Most orcs, if not all of them, have choppas. So on the turn you charge, you get to reroll wound rolls of 1 and increase the AP by 1. Really great. Because guess what? You get to apply that to great weapons. So you're already armor bane 1, and you'll be AP 3 on the turn in which you charge. So I mean, you're really freaking destroying someone's armor. And then furthermore, you can buff them with troll magic from the Arcane Journal and give them a freaking regen, which is just absolutely insane. Look into that for sure. They benefit from close order, so they have marching column, which is deeper than you are wide. So say you're 4 wide, you must be at least 5 deep. And that allows you to triple your movement, giving you a 12-inch move. However, you don't claim rank bonuses. And if you get charged, you don't get any of that good stuff. Now, they also have regular formation, or rank and file formation, if you will, where you're 5 wide, 4 deep, and you're moving your basic movement. You can still march up to 8, but on top of it, you claim your rank bonuses, you get all that stuff. Now, a big question you must ask yourself is how many wide are you going to go? I find 7 to 6 is good for 30mm bases. They're not too far. But one thing to keep in mind is when you run a close order unit and then you run infantry on top of it, you get rank bonuses. So you get an additional rank bonus, 2 of them, for this army. So that means you need to be at least 3 deep to benefit from the rank bonuses. What my suggestion would be is to run at least a 6x4 or a 7x4. And that whole extra rank back there is going to be just wounds you'll take for magic or shooting. That way when you get to combat, you still guarantee your rank bonus, which is important. You want those rank bonuses. Now, unlike other orcs, they don't freaking suffer from impetuous, making them very reliable. You're not going to have to roll a die and then wonder if they're going to try and charge into a unit or if they're going to have the discipline and be able to use them how you want. That makes this unit really good and dependable, which makes it less of a variable. They have veterans, so you can reroll any failed leadership test, not break test, but any leadership checks. And they have stubborn, which I think is pretty decent. I like it. For the first test that you take for breaking, you can choose to instead not take it and just fall back in good order. And you can only use it on the first one and you can't do it again afterwards. I like it. Sometimes you're learning the rules, you're not that good, you get devastated by something. Hey, I got charged by an Iron Demon with the Skullcracker upgrade. That thing destroyed my troops. But having stubborn was nice. I was able to fall back in good order. So there is a sense and purpose for it. Black Orcs come in at 16 points apiece, and then you can pay for a command upgrade. If you do the command, I recommend the champion. You can kit him out with some magical items, which is cool. But you also got the standard bearer, giving you +1 to that combat res and can take a magical standard, which is nice. You pick your poison on that one. The musician's okay. It allows you to break tiebreakers, but it doesn't come in a whole lot of handy, in my opinion. Maybe you guys do, with Black Orcs or even Chaos Warriors and stuff. So I wouldn't take it unless you just want to paint a cool model. Now, there's really not a whole lot to talk about aside from this. I recommend them to anybody that wants to play Orcs and Goblins because they're fun to paint, they're cool to use, and it's a great unit for a nice laid-back game. So I noticed that when the Orcs and Goblins Arcane Journal came out, there's a lot of ways that people change their playstyle. The Nomadic Wog, you could take Black Orc Chariots, all that other stuff. There's a link to the top right corner if you want to see how the Arcane Journals function. But yeah, this is really it. It's just a brief kind of down and dirty, a little bit of the lore history and what I think about the unit. Let me know if you use Black Orcs and how they work for you on the tabletop. And everybody, tomorrow we got a lore video for a famous orc war boss. And he had a not so friendly relationship with the dwarves and Skaven. Guess down below if you know what it is. And you'll be finding out tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful freaking day. Peace.